Hey everybody, on this episode of the Emerald City After Show, we're breaking down Season 1, Episode 4, Science and Magic. We're going to find out, are you a nun or are you a whore? What an intro. Let's do it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You're off to see the wizards, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You'll find the elves and
Right? I know we're just going.
There you go. We're just going to sit here quietly for the next hour as we listen to the Wizard of Oz here.
Yep.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Emerald City After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Of course, we'll be breaking down all of Emerald City throughout the season here. This episode that we're breaking down, Episode 4, Science and Magic. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie.
What's up, guys? I'm just chatting with you in the room. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. And like I said, if you're watching this live, chat with us, please. We'd love to know your thoughts on the episode. If you're watching it later, comment down below, because you guys comment a lot and we like it.
That's
and you have
right.
good theories, and we're not like super versed in the Emerald City universe of Wizard of Oz and all that, but we like hearing your comments because then it's like, oh, that's really interesting. No, because there's stuff where I'm like, okay, I know about that, and other things I'm like, sure, or I know a name, but the fans are
That's what's great
giving
about
us
having fans.
information of like, oh, good, that's good to know.
Yeah, there's just two heads here, but there's
You know?
many, many, many more heads out there doing all the work there. Yeah, doing
But
all that
not
heavy
cool
lifting.
head swapping. We'll get there.
No, that's true.
I'm very disappointed.
Yes. So, folks, you can like us on Facebook. You can give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, as Kari's mentioned, you're already in the chat commenting away, so thanks so much for doing that.
The important question that someone asked, I was like, oh yes, I'm new to this word, but what is the ship name, as in relationship, shipping, for Dorothy and Lucas? Good question, guys. What do you think? I don't know.
Dorcas. Yes, it's
That's
Dorcas.
on Salem. There's a character named Dorcas, and I'm like, oh, that's such an unfortunate
Oh,
name. But it's like
darn.
Dorcas, so I'm like, well, it's maybe not spelled the same, but still.
Yeah.
It's bad.
All right. I'm throwing out Dorcas. But
Yeah,
feel
they
free in the
said,
chat.
oh no. They're like, no.
No, not Dorcas?
Yeah.
Oh, boo. Come on, guys.
And then, some people called last week we'll get there too, but how Jack is the Tin Man, which I'm a little disappointed in that too.
Yeah, in
We'll
fact,
get there.
Yeah, why don't we can even just start right there.
Okay.
Of course,
That's
we
where
saw
it
the last
starts, yeah.
episode. Yeah, that's we saw Tip push Jack off that high balcony there,
Mm-hmm.
crumples down to the ground, and some amount of time have passed. We don't know exactly how much, but we see Jack waking up in some room, and he's being
Lab.
operated on. Yeah, some lab, some really cool, some family room.
Yes.
People are eating and dining. No, he's in some kind of lab, and a woman's working on him. And he's being
Just
transformed.
like, oh, it's a surgeon, right?
Uh-huh.
No.
Sure. And we do see from Jack's point of view, though, but I figure, like, there was
I knew that mirror on the wall was going to come into play, but I liked how they did it.
Yeah.
She's like, here, let me reveal. Ta-da!
So I don't think, even the way that it's shot from that first scene, there was
Yeah.
really no mystery that, like, this is going to be from Jack's point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we see the person behind Jack's situation that he's in there, Tip, is also on a bridge right now, really regretting her choice, what she did. And she actually carved sorry Jack there on the railing of the bridge.
At first, I was like, why are you getting rid of the knife? Oh, you're trying to commit suicide. Oh, okay. I understand. Not that that's a light matter, but it was one of those moments of like, wait, why are you getting rid of that? Like, you could get money and survive, but she doesn't care.
She hurt her best friend in the world.
She killed her best friend.
Well, as far as she knows, yes.
She thinks she did.
Yes. But then she meets the captain of the brigade and says, like, hey, don't kill yourself. And Tip says, you know what, I'll kill for you. If you just give me, somewhere to go, I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
It's
a great plan. Yep.
Yeah. And would you trust the guy if you're right there on the bridge, he just kind of wanders up out of nowhere and says, hey, don't jump, I got something for you.
I think she has nothing better to do, so she's like, sure. But no, probably not. I'd be like, but she does remain skeptical. We'll give her points for that.
Yes.
She's always, and puts up a fight all the way. Like, every time she bumps into something where they're like, you gotta do this, she's like, no. No.
No, I'm really curious about what Tip's story, and as we talked through this episode, like where, because I know you talked about like, perhaps she's Ozma, that's some of the speculation.
Yeah, everybody's really like, it's Ozma.
Yeah, so I'm really curious this trajectory, because I'm not getting that Ozma vibe yet, but I don't know.
Well, that's why I wonder if the witches would recognize that she's important or something, like sense something. But in a way, they kind of did, because they fought over her of like, I want her.
Yeah.
So I didn't quite get the vibe that they knew she was special. they knew she was like worth paying attention to, but not like grandiose special.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess.
So, yeah.
We'll stick with Tip for a second because the idea is like the captain of the brigade says, "Hey, I got something for you," and takes her to an orphanage.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, hey, she basically just selling her off to an orphanage.
Yeah.
And who happens to be at the orphanage at that same time is the Witch of the North, and so it's like, hey, you know what? You could be here. You could be one of my girls. Look at
Be a
that.
nun.
Yeah. Be untouched. You know, that's how you live. But at that same time, because. Well, she's doing like the big spiel to all the girls in there.
Tips off.
Yeah.
Nope, no bath for me.
No, I'm not gonna get baptized. What's this all about? The Witch
I
of
don't
the
know if
West.
it's been a while. Maybe it would be like, I need a bath.
Yeah, just wash that hair, man. I bet that hair
Yeah.
is like.
Though a lot of people were admiring Tip's amazing, very full hair.
Very true.
She has very luscious locks.
Yeah. The Witch of the West shows up at the same time as well, and kind of makes it.
Coincidentally, she's like, oh, you just showed up at this time at this orphanage.
Yeah, and they both make a play. So I'm curious, like, because as you were talking about, they both make a play for
Yeah.
Tip. Do they do this for every girl that comes in, or this
No.
just happens to be?
I think
Tip?
something is interesting about her. Enough
Yeah.
to pique their interest. I don't know how the Witch of the West got there, though, to know, like, hey, this girl's here right now.
So I do like the ideas that they both kind of stake their they pitched Tip, and so as Tip says, I can either be a nun or I can be a whore.
Yep.
What a great.
But
deal.
I do appreciate that both women go, that's a really good point, that those kind of suck as your option as a woman.
Yeah. But I do like the Witch of the West say, like, but we sleep in.
Yeah.
Like that. That's...
Did I mention we sleep in? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm with you guys. Yeah, as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We see the Witch of the West, though, is not just keen to just let Tip kind of decide on her own.
But she makes a bathtub play.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, I don't trust that some random girl mysteriously appeared in the bathtub with you and you didn't notice.
Yes. That was just like, okay. And the fact that Tip decided to just go under the water for a little bit, I'm like, there's just some rando in this tub that just popped up out of
But
nowhere.
it's a young lady. You're not going to think that they're going to do anything.
Well, no, but she just popped up out of nowhere. I would still think twice.
like, yeah.
like,
Well, she's still shy with her body that she wouldn't necessarily jump out of the tub.
yeah, so I guess I'm just going to hold my breath until you leave. That's it. I'm just going to duck
She
out
wants
of
to
the
disappear,
bubbles.
like what she said. She's like, I want to forget everything. I want to disappear. And now she's changed her mind again.
Yeah, the Witch of the West says like that, or at least as she's playing as this girl says, that's a great thing about coming to the West side is that they can make you forget.
Everyone's saying Glinda's running a cult.
It seems
In a way, but I mean, I would want to know a little bit more about the other young ladies that are there. That like, if you are an orphan, you have no family, no like security of any kind. Like this is a place where you have food, shelter, you're educated, and maybe, but apparently you can semi-break the rules, which we saw that, one of the other council women did that. So, I mean, it's not like a horrible life. You're not outside homeless and like starving. So if they get a choice in it, because it didn't seem like you did, like, oh, you're an orphan, you're coming with us. Like you have no choice. Then I'm like, not so much.
and I'm curious to see what the real repercussions are for somebody like that. We saw in the first episode
That's
that
true.
they get
We don't know
pregnant.
what happened to her. Like,
Yeah.
do you just get fired and you go live your life with them later? And it was with a guard. So would he also lose his job?
Yeah.
I don't know.
know.
That's a good question. Again, they would show you and like they give us information. They're like, well, we're not going to explain in that much detail.
Now, before the Witch of the West showed up in the bathtub for a little bathtub talk, where did you think Tip was leaning?
West.
The whole time you had no doubt she was going west.
If only because she did not like North's place. Why did you think she liked the North?
I don't know if she liked it, but
I think she was giving it a chance. Once she got in the uniform and after she got cleaned up, I think she was like, well.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more curious to learn how the way the North works. So I was intrigued to hopefully that think it should go that way, and not mostly for Tip's point, but Tip's benefit, but for me as a viewer's benefit.
I'd want to know too. Well, the problem for Tip is her personality is very vibrant and outspoken, and this place women seem extremely submissive, and so just that alone doesn't seem to gel, and that's why I thought she might be more for the West one. Not that turning yourself into a horror and you don't know anything about that or want to do that, and especially if she is the body, in the mindset of I'm a boy and now a girl, of course she would definitely not be like jumping and doing anything sexual. But at least it maybe offered an opportunity to not be like repressed the same way. So maybe.
Yeah. But she does decide.
Considers her options.
She does, and she doesn't go. We see that the North getting all
Yeah.
the girls. Yes.
Somebody was pointing out in the chat. I don't know how to say the name, but she wants West to make her a boy again.
That could be true.
So that's possible. She might trust in the Witch of the West's magic more so, and be like, okay, you can make me a boy.
Yeah, that's the reason she does tell the Witch of the West that's like, I know it was
Actually,
you the whole
I
time.
thought as soon as she saw that there was the glamour, then I thought she might trust the magic more.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you changed your appearance, you could maybe help me with mine.
That makes sense.
That's what made me think, like, that magic proved to her, like, oh, okay, your magic could maybe do what I want.
Yeah, so it's curious, like, because if she's Ozma, she would already know magic, right?
I don't know, guys. Let us know more on Ozma of, like, not terribly spoilers of what happens,
Yeah.
but, like, character traits, or does she know magic inherently, or was she raised that way? I don't know.
Yeah, so
I just know that name. I'm like, I know, like, how it kind of fits, but not really.
yeah, because I have to admit, I feel like I really don't know where the story is heading exactly.
Yeah.
And I still don't know for myself if I find that good or bad yet.
Yes. I think they're portraying, it's one of those, it's so, right now it's so portrayed as black and white, and almost literally, like, North is all white and it's pure and almost boring. Because it's just so, like, we are proper and we're pure, and you're just like, gag me with a spoon kind of idea. But then West is just like drugs, despair, and destruction. And it's like, well, okay, is there a happy medium in there? Like, was, maybe Witch of the South and Witch of the East better? Like, though Witch of the East, we didn't like her personality so much either. She was a bit aggressive, of not merciful.
Yeah.
So
Merciful and
I
stern?
don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like, yeah, I want to see more, because, like, it seems like they're just playing them as, like, black and white.
Yeah,
There's no grays. I want to see more in betweens.
I would think that the Witch of the South, who is no longer with us, whoever they be, whether it be Dorothy's mom or whatnot, if the mother of the witches, maybe the most nurturing of all of them.
Yeah, maybe. That could be the other one.
Because certainly none of the other three have shown any sort of nurturing tendencies whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even though we saw very little of the East, but what we saw of her was not something like, hey, hang out with me, good things are
Yeah.
coming.
Yes.
So we leave Tip wanting, at least pitching to the Witch of the West, like, teach me magic. And we'll see if she takes, I have a feeling she'll take her up on it. Because she said it does seem intrigued by her.
Exactly. I think Witch of the West is kind of like, you are interesting, that I want to know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
She likes her personality. I think she respects a fellow female, or the spunk.
That's true.
Like, you got energy. I like it.
Are you talking about me or are you talking about Tip?
You too.
Oh,
you have good
thanks,
energy.
Kari. Oh, please, Kari, come on, go on. So we'll talk about Tip's unfortunate partner, though, Jack, as we talked a little bit about at the beginning. He's getting operated on.
Yes.
And we find out that, as you mentioned, like, he's basically being turned into the Tin Man.
Yes, and some people in the chat were commenting that maybe it's combining the two ideas of Jack, the pumpkin, with Tin Man. Because the way it's kind of set up, from thank you for your guys's and to my understanding of it all, is Tip and Jack with Pumpkin, not with Tin Man, were a thing. So Ozma and Jack are friends, but they've gone another way and made him Tin Man. So either they've like introduced him as this character and then morphed him into someone else.
Yeah, because I know you were under the impression that the captain, the captain of the guard, was going to be.
No, he's gonna be the lion.
Oh, he's going to be the lion.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, yes. No, he's the lion. Because remember, he said that they're lions out here, and so I feel he's gonna be the lion somehow.
Man, what's his deal? We'll get to him in a second.
The other thing, Tin Man, somebody was mentioning RoboCop. Actually, the thing I thought it made me think of is Full Metal Alchemist, because in that he actually does have one arm that's metal, and I think both legs are. It's been a while since I've watched it, guys, so forgive my memory of it. But I know it's definitely one arm and it's at least one leg, because he has an accident and needs to get it back, and similar idea. And I don't know. I think he learned well enough. Some people were saying he learned a little too fast of how to move.
I felt like because I was about to mention that, because I feel like with only 10 episodes, and you
They gotta speed it up.
Yeah.
We also don't know the timeline. It could have been a couple days. It could have been a couple weeks, for all we know. I doubt it, because I feel everybody is kind of going like on a daily timeline.
Yeah.
But his timeline, we don't know if it was I don't feel it was one day per se.
No, but I feel like they're showing you. I haven't got anything.
Like these are the highlight moments.
Yeah, but I don't get
No.
the sense like they're fracturing the narrative at all. I feel like
That's
everything you're
true.
seeing is happening at the same time. I don't think I haven't got any illusion like some storylines happening at a
Yeah.
different time.
I think his movement was fine. I just would think that the understanding how much control he needs to do, that needs to take some time.
Yeah.
Like figuring out how to walk, okay, like if it didn't seem like the legs went all the way up to the hip joints, but like that you would still know how to move that part, but like your knee down would be different, and then like the arm figuring that out. So it'd be more when he picks things up to know how much his strength is. That's where I'd be like, okay, maybe that needs a little more time. I'm okay with the other part. Like you're just figuring out things move differently.
Yeah, and you find out that Jane, that's like part of her deal is that she takes on special projects there for the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And
She's the R&D department.
yeah, and very interesting. Like, well, because it does change when we get to see the princess of the castle because they are in the the kingdom of Av.
Ev, yes,
Ev, yes.
Evie.
And we get to meet the princess who comes in and
Okay,
yes.
so
All right, here we go. Carrie Lane,
my
get on
only
that
thing,
rant.
I'm like, So I, way a long time ago, and I remember I really enjoyed it, I watched Return to Oz, and the princess is in that as well, to my understanding, it's the same character. But the thing with her is she has different heads, and it is so scary as a little kid, but that was what was so cool about it, that you're like, oh, she has no head. And I looked her up too, like I just was double checking, like, wait, who is this character? And if most of the images are her replacing her head. So I'm like, that's such a great crazy image of like there's photos or like drawings of her like holding her head or like here and like, you know, it's totally gone. But her just changing masks seems so boring to me. Such a cop out that I'm almost like, well, okay, I really hope under the mask it's like disgusting skeletal face and there's nothing there. Like I need that then, because like I think she's supposed to be scary to an extent. Like she's gonna be one of the adversaries of some sort. Gonna be a problem for the team.
It is interesting with this show though, just like in terms of what they'll decide to really embrace and what they'll kind of dial back. So far, like with the Tin Woodsman, the Scarecrow, what
I'm
are
okay
the
with the
original
Tin
lines?
Man. Like, all right, fine. I don't like that they put clothes all over him to cover all of it up, though. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's gonna be cheating. Of like, all right, we only have to do a hand today.
No,
Your shirt
let's-
covers it up. Cop out. No offense, guys, but still, that's a cop out.
Yeah, because I
Like,
wonder, does he wear metal the rest of the way up, or is he just going to be like this? Because I feel like if you're going to be the Tin Man, you gotta be all tin.
I'm even okay with like the face and like part of it, and like his heart's not his heart anymore. Like,
Nice little clockwork
I'm
heart.
okay with that, but I want it shown. Like, put him in a sleeveless shirt, so at least we see the arm the whole time.
Yeah.
Though in Full Metal Alchemist, he does wear a jacket and long sleeves all the time. But just saying, but that one's a whole other thing. The other thing, too, is... So I really hope she has a different face. The other thing it kind of reminded me of is Repo the Genetic Opera. Awesome movie. But Paris Hilton is in it, and who's actually not that bad, but she plays herself, so haha.
okay.
She gets a new face. So they have it where like it comes off, but it's just like the muscle tissue underneath. It's the skin that's new, and like it falls off and apart, and it's just like disgusting red tissue and stuff like that. It's a very gory movie. So I hope we get to see that with the princess then. Back to that of like, all right, give me something.
Yeah, because I feel like the masks themselves, I felt like the one
There
that was at
has
least the
to be
coolest
something.
was the first one that she came in on.
Yeah.
And then every other one she tried on was just like, well, that's kind of a dull one. That's
And when we see her at the end, like really get a good look at her face, I'm like, your face looks normal.
yeah.
You're just wearing a mask.
No,
I want more.
Yeah, and we find out that
Because why bother? Like, really? My personality is brand new and different because I got a new mask on. Be like, really?
yeah,
really?
when she just come in to see Jack, yeah, it's like she does open up her big cabinet of masks. Like, who
Yeah.
do I want to be today?
And why are her masks there?
Yeah, why
Why aren't they at home?
Yeah, or why they're like in her her room.
Or does she have them both? Do you have supplies at different places so you can change it up? She's out on the town. She's like, you know what? I need to change my face right now.
There we go. Let me walk
I
over there.
know. I know. I just hope they don't dial that completely back.
Yeah.
I mean, they have normalized a lot of things, like made things average and normal. Like Scarecrow is, you know, like so far we got Scarecrow and the Tin Man so far, and they're not super extremes.
Mm-hmm.
Though Tin Man's a step further.
That it definitely is a big
More
step
so
up.
than the more so than the Scarecrow. So
For sure.
I give it a chance.
Although I feel like it'd be curious to see where they go with the scarecrow, because like I feel like you can't go to that same thing where to protect him they put him in a body of straw. It's like we've already seen somebody else like turned into a Tin Man, so we can't just have everybody.
I don't think anything's gonna happen with him.
Yeah.
I think that's it. His thing.
Oh, way to go. But we do see that at the end, Jane takes him all the way up to meet the king, but the princess is there, and we find out that her name is Languadir.
Yes, and then some guy said she looks beautiful under the mask. Oh, there you go. That's interesting if that's true. She looks beautiful under the mask, but if you make her angry, the face changes. But that's still boring too.
Okay.
Need more stuff to it.
We feel like Jane is going to leave him there, and Jack's like, "Why are you leaving me? I thought I was going to stay with you." And Jane wanted him to stay too, but the princess saw him and like took a fancy for him, and so
new toy to play with.
Yeah, they kind of own him because they use all the resources. So like, kind of ours.
Yeah.
So now we want you.
And she's like, "Yeah, show some gratitude." And he's kind of like, "No, I actually was good. You should have let me die."
Yeah, exactly.
My best friend, the whole wide world, left me for dead. Now I want to die.
And because like when Jane does come back, and after the princess first comes through there, she's very sad, and I don't know exactly. I wish we knew exactly why, like what she wanted to accomplish with Jack, or and why she's so like worried now that
the fact that the princess is gonna have him now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think? The last we'll see of Jane?
No, she might come back. Wait, what number?
This is episode 4.
4? Okay, well, did we predict 5 or 6?
Yeah, for meeting the wizard.
I don't remember what number did we say?
We were going with 5 or 6.
We said 5 or 6, and next week it says they meet the wizard.
Yeah, finally.
Something said in the chat and in that kind of preview too, and when I was watching, I do think Dorothy is the Beast forever now.
Do you think so?
Yeah, if only because Anna, right? Anna, the councilwoman, because of her statement of it's going to come from the sky, check, Dorothy. It's going to have a heart and a mind, check. And it could kill you. All right, all of those fit. Because why? It changes every time, and it's a cleansing, according to that townsperson. So in a way, if Dorothy gets rid of the wizard or his practices, that would be a cleansing in its own way.
Okay. No, interesting hypothesis.
I was thinking it was more like natural disasters, which so far it has been, and we've all talked about that. It's been a natural disaster every time, in a way. It was like a flood, and it was a fire. She came from the tornado, so it'd be a different kind of... Well, it's natural. It's a human being.
Yeah.
So maybe. I'm curious. Really curious. That's my lean now. I think Dorothy is the Beast forever.
Oh, okay.
What do you guys think?
Come chat.
Yes.
Go in the chat.
Chatting it up. I was gonna say you guys are I love that you're talking so much, but I'm like, wait, what are they saying? But keep it going, guys. I love you discussing amongst yourselves too.
Speaking of the wizard, we do see his arc for this episode is, of course, with the snow that started coming down last week. We kind of get the idea like, hey, maybe I was a little too quick with Anna to throw her right into a cell and leave her. Maybe she knows what's up. So he does get her out of the cell, and they're going to visit the town Nimba.
Yep. Oh, and then he totally tells off his previous councilwoman. He's like, well, you kind of failed.
Yeah. So
she's like, okay.
Because it's been discovered they burned down the town, or at least they fired parts of it. There, a little massacre, and they found some kind of energy in some sort of portal, some kind of passageway underneath them. Kind of.
Yes.
So the wizard and Anagor are going to check it out. And so while the wizard's talking to the townsfolk, the village elder and stuff.
And did they just burn the town but why those people, and how was the burning done?
Yeah.
That was really unclear. Like, please guys, leave comments down below of how you understood that scene, because it sounded like they go, okay, your town has magic. We're going to kill a few of you, or a lot of you. Which that in and of itself felt weird because they didn't even verify it. They're going to verify it. So why are you killing them preemptively?
Yeah.
And then why those people, and why so many? Like, all that felt really like, I don't get it.
Because I did get the sense that it was all women. Was it? Because like women seem to be. We don't know about any male witches. Because the village elder just talked about his wife being taken.
His wife, and then we all lost someone.
Yeah.
Unclear. It's unclear.
Although you do have a pregnant woman right there too, so like, well, but she's kept.
Yeah, and then why? Why are those certain people? Why did those people die? So, totally, I felt not clear.
Yeah, and while the wizard's doing that, Anna goes down to the passageway and kind of messes with the energy at the beginning of that passageway, and it detonates. And we see her just kind of blown back.
I actually thought some material. We see later her face is cut. I actually thought some of the material was on her. Then I'm like, oh, she's gonna be infected by magic.
That could be very true.
I like that idea.
Because I feel like there's a reason why she was that close to that explosion. I feel like something's happened to her. She's been transformed in some fashion. I can imagine it just...
Something's happened to her, yeah.
I don't think she just did it and it blew up and then that was the last we're going to see of it.
No, especially if it's magic. I think it was. It's not, to our world understanding, it wasn't a science thing. So I'd go with it was a magical portal of some sort. And of course, the standard human thing, I'm going to touch it with my fingers.
Of course, man. That's what you do.
Poke with a stick or something first, not on your fingers. I don't know.
I do like how well the wizard is not received. He's when it comes to the town right away.
Yeah, I like that not everybody's totally on board with him.
No.
He's still creepy as all get out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he asks the village elder.
And him and Anna.
Oh, yeah. When he just asks the village elder about the difference between science and magic, and he says one is lies and that's science, and he says magic that's the beating heart of Oz.
Yeah. But then of course he goes, well, it didn't stop the beast forever. But then the guy's like, yeah, but that's okay because it's like a cleansing. Well, it's like wildfires. Like they suck if you're living near it, but that's kind of naturally helps clean out that area and get out the dead brush and everything, and then there's new regrowth.
It is interesting to see how different people in Oz think of the beast forever, because these people do not think of it as an evil thing, but just as a part of their life cycle.
Mm-hmm. They're just like, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Duh. And he's like, yeah, I don't like that.
No. But when Anna gets hurt, though, man, the wizard just creepily opens up again.
And her hat off, so we see her long blonde hair. And he goes to hold her hand, though she shuts him down.
I liked it.
Thank you, Anna. Oh my gosh, he was like, well, and she's like, yeah, I walked on a path of purity, and I'm not gonna break that.
I do like that. Just right away.
I'm so happy she shut that down. She's like, nope.
Yeah, so you feel like the wizard just why?
Friend zoned. Yeah, no, he's so creepy. Everyone agrees. Yeah, it's just, it's just creepy.
Yeah, but she does say that you need to. She got him. Anna talks to him about hey, you've got to change your attitude there. You got to actually convince these people to work with you.
Yeah. I like his way of convincing.
Oh, yeah. And we do get at the end, the village elder gets up there and denounces magic to the rest of the town
because
folks.
they got a knife on his daughter's pregnant belly.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Way to go. So you
Jerkwad.
can see how the wizard's just really kind of strong-armed everybody into thinking what he thinks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, charming gentleman. Our last storyline, though, is our pal Dorothy.
Totally random. Somebody was commenting on her hair color. What color did you think her hair was going to be? Someone's like, I thought she'd be like a redhead or a brunette. Brunette or raven-haired, said Renji.
But I did not expect her hair to be that long. I was like, wow, it's a long hair.
It's a lot of hair to deal with underneath that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just because that.
Well, like Sound of Music, she has the short hair because it's easier to have the habit at the beginning, which she gets rid of, but still.
Yeah.
But still.
All right, Anna, if that's what you want to do, just want to wind that all up, then put it underneath that cap.
Yeah.
I say now, she shouldn't be back in that cap. Just let it go.
Oh, interesting.
I wonder if she puts the cap back on.
Right.
Oh.
Maybe.
We do.
No, because she gets magic, so then she'll be like, nope.
Oh. But the way I'm excited about the idea of magic, but then the way, at least, I'll be curious to see if all magic is done like the way the Witch of the West and her followers did it, whether it's all funky, gyrating.
Well, that was a certain spell, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like you were doing a thing, so it could be done differently for different. Like the Witch of the East never did anything like that. She just did she has her gauntlets, but she still just did hand gestures.
And we still haven't seen the Witch of the North do anything yet.
Nope, not really.
Yeah, come on, what are you waiting for, Witch of the North? Come on, show us what you got. But we have got Dorothy and Lucas are walking through the woods because they're keeping off the yellow brick road to remain hidden. Because, of course, the captain of the guard is looking for them. And then, of course, we get to the part where I'm not excited about, where, Lucas and Dorothy, they start, getting ready for heading for that kiss, but get interrupted.
Wait, you don't like that they got interrupted or that they were going to kiss?
Yeah, they were going to kiss. I'm not shipping these guys at all. Are you shipping them?
You guys, did you hear that? No.
Dorcas. That's guys. Let's go with
No,
Dorcas.
somebody, they combined his other name, so they said like Doron.
That boo to that one. That's just no. Dorcas is where it's at.
I think, unfortunately, both their names are really not a good combo. Just don't. I think they've rushed it so fast that, I mean, I'm okay with them having chemistry. But I'd want it like, I'm ready to have sex with you kiss, not just like, oh, I'm in love with you kiss. Like, you could have that, like, intense attraction and, like, chemistry with someone and not necessarily be like, I want to be romantic with you. Because that's what I got, like, kind of from the beginning. They've had that, like, oh, body chemistry.
Yeah.
So it going, like, the romantic route so fast is like, well, but then again, it's the we're together every day, all day. It's that summer camp syndrome. You're just like instantly best friends with people, and it's in such a short amount of time because you're just stuck together.
Well, as we get to the end of the episode, and he tells her, it's like, I'm not the, I don't remember who I am, but I know I'm the man that I want to be now.
Oh, something totally random. Guys, I just saw this one. I like this. Cassandra said Dorothy or the little girl can control the giants. The girl who turned the people to stone. That I like that theory. That's really good.
Oh, interesting. But it's like when he says, Lucas says he likes like the man that he is now. I'm getting really tired of Lucas's MO. It's like some kind of potentially dangerous situation pops in his head. All Lucas wants to do is just run away from it.
Yeah.
And,
oh no! At the end, he's like, I like the man that I. Yeah.
And I was like, really, the one that's just always like, I don't want to do this. I want to just keep going. And then Dorothy's got to basically just do it, and then he's reluctantly dragged into doing it.
Yeah, he needs to step up.
I'm like, oh, come on, enough of this. But it does start off as they're about their first kiss. A girl comes in and starts hugging on Lucas. And she doesn't
Giant
speak.
eyes. Oh my gosh. They casting. Large eyes required.
Yeah. Very curious to find out what her story is because they take her back. They figure that maybe she came from the village nearby. So Dorothy, of course, takes her over there. And when they get there, find out interesting that the reason that she doesn't talk is that she also has like earbuds in her ear.
Yep, her
like earplugs.
seashells.
Yeah, that was really. And when you take them out, like
It's
the
too much
sounds.
noise. She's autistic, essentially, of like overstimulation. Not qualifying those as all the same thing, but still like just general understanding of it's just too much stimuli that she's like, I can't handle it, and you know.
Yeah. Because I'm really curious about the sequence of events because she's looking for her parents to reunite them, and they find two people come up to Dorothy and Sophie and say, "Oh my gosh, this is our daughter. This is our Sophie. We lost her.
They didn't even say our daughter.
No, this is Sophie. Yeah, we're gonna bring her back.
Yeah.
Here's some candy. We'll cook you some good food." And Dorothy's suspicious.
Oh yeah, I would be too.
Yeah. Even when she says, "I want to follow you back and see where she is," and the way that they reacted to that, like, yeah,
they're like,
way to play cool, guys.
Yeah.
What? You want to come back with us?
No, they should have been like, don't. No, you don't have to. Don't trouble yourself.
Yeah. It was just like, oh man, we're busted. So when they get over there, and Dorothy's trying to make her way in, but she's interrupted by Lucas, so Sophie gets dragged in by the two adults. And when she tries to make a move back in there again, and we find out that Sophie's basically like turned them to stone.
Yes.
Because she's shaking so violently when Dorothy breaks into the place and to try to rescue her.
Her eyes change too.
Yeah.
They get like the pupil, the color. What is color called again? I'm like, darn, I forget. What's your pupil? And then there's another name for the color part. But it was like big and really dark color, almost black.
Yeah. So clearly she's
got those scleras in there for that little kid.
The power's coming from her.
Yes.
So, and I assume it just only reacts when she's agitated to some extent?
Yeah.
Because it seems like whatever these
stressful situations. It's like X-Men. She's finding her power. She doesn't know how to control it, and it's a stressful situation that causes the burst of energy.
Because I feel like that these people have been holding her for some length of time. Sophie, because they...
So why hasn't it happened until now? Well, because now she had an option to escape, and then it was taken away from her, and then it's like she just had a breaking point.
Yeah, but it was also interesting the way that she just took the candy that was offered to her right away. She was just like,
that was weird. She's like, okay, sure.
I'm just like
I would have wanted a little more like, Dorothy.
Yeah, don't
like,
take
don't let me stay with them.
Yeah, the
like
way
she should have looked at her like.
Yeah, so that made
something.
That seems so
agree.
weird to me. So I was kind of like, I don't know what the deal is with this is.
Yeah. Oh, super hearing. Somebody said.
Oh, she's a super.
Yeah. Iris. Thank you. That's the other color. The color part. Oh, Sylvie. Not Sophie.
Oh, it's Sylvie.
Thank you.
See, I am because I was debating about when the captain of the guard shows up and finds Dorothy and Sylvie leaving. Lucas decides to step in there as well, and because the guard recognizes Lucas's sword with Dorothy and says, "I know the man who had the sword. I've been looking for him. If you know where he is, you got to bring him to me."
And Dorothy's like, I don't know where he is.
I don't know where he's going. But when he shows up, Captain the Guard. That whole interaction was just so awkward though, because Lucas you think it's gonna turn into something because the way he's like sneaking up, but then he just like kind of walks in and like takes the girl and leaves. And like that was it.
Well, the way the guard first reacted, I'm like, he's ready to kill him or something like that. And then I'm like, the way he reacted after, I'm like, bromance? Like, can we ship Captain of the Guard and Lucas? Like that just felt like, wait. My brethren, where have you gone?
And then the way that
what?
Because the guard takes Sophie away from Dorothy, and Dorothy's like, "Don't get her don't get her agitated. Don't scare her." And the way she starts shaking, and I thought like
one of the dudes behind was gonna turn to stone.
Yes.
Because that guy, I don't think he'll die, but like the other one, no, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, so that doesn't happen.
No.
And then Lucas just kind of like slinks in and just grabs him.
Rowan is true name according to the Captain of the Guard.
I was like, is it Rowan? Is it Noan? I couldn't quite tell, so I wrote both names down. I wasn't sure.
Somebody said maybe Sky said, is the little girl the beast forever? That's another thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that was the way there was such a build-up, and especially when you announce, I know the man who has a sword, you're expecting some big kind of confrontation between Lucas and this Captain of the Guards.
Well, Lucas can't remember anything of it, so it's not. But it was weird how he first is like, completely not even looking at him or even puzzling, going, I'm gonna try to remember him, I'm gonna stare at him, I'm gonna try to remember. No, he just doesn't look at all, and then later, Dorothy, that guy knew me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe you should have shown a little more interest as you're running away instead of like, maybe he should have been like looking back like, what is that guy yelling? What name is that? I don't know that name.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not your name, you hear someone yell, you're generally like, what, you know?
Yeah, it's like, what do you know who I am?
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like the Captain of the Guard really wants to hang out and bro out with him. He wants to pretty much just kill him.
Yeah.
It seems like. So, whatever, they weren't the best of friends back when Rowan
I don't
Lucas
know,
had
the way
the
he was
memory.
like pushing after him, I thought there was a little romance.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Dorothy, the way to
Well, I
kind
was
of clear
like,
up the
maybe.
scene, he pulls out a gun, fires it up in the air, and then the Captain of the Guard just keeps walking towards her.
Which, good point with that. We were kind of, somebody in the chat brought up, and I was totally thinking this during the episode. I'm like, how many bullets does she have left? Because there's the east bullet shot the guard in the chest, which I think she just hit the armor, and I'm pretty darn sure he's alive. And then in the air. So it's 3. I mean, I don't know anything in detail enough about guns to know how many bullets it would have. I would think maybe 10
or 12?
Yeah. And then I think even when she got that bag of stuff, I don't think she grabbed an extra clip or anything. Because I'm like, Dorothy, you are wasting bullets.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those.
I thought she was going to shoot him in the face, actually, because he's that close of point blank. Like, you shot him in the chest.
I mean, I can understand.
You see he's wearing armor, sweetheart.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Because, I mean, she's a nurse, so you're
Yeah.
very familiar not wanting to inflict harm on
Yeah.
others. But so I could see why she was a little reluctant to pull the trigger at first. But at least she does, which is great. I was hoping like it wouldn't be where he does walk up and takes the gun out of her hand.
It's any movie. Don't pull out a gun unless you're planning to use it. Because they either take it from you or they get you.
And I...
Happens all the time in the movies. It's so annoying. I'm like, shoot him in the leg.
What do you...
The
did,
foot.
Did
Something.
you think he was dead or not?
No, he's not dead.
Oh, of course not. Because he shows up at the end of the episode. But at that moment, I was like, ooh, are they
Some
just
people
not-
said 12. Okay, that's 1. Yeah.
So, she still has like... What,
Oh, wait. He can't be dead. We saw him on the horse.
no, because he
Thank
shows
you,
up at
guys.
the end.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, duh. But yeah, no, I didn't think he was dead either. I'm like, no.
Because I felt like it hit him in the shoulder, so I felt like he
Yeah.
just kind of crumpled down to the ground and was just laying there for whatever.
Either the armor stopped it or it's not a vital spot.
But we do while they make their way around.
Yes.
Dorothy does a little little mixtape action with Lucas. Listen to a little song and do a little smooching.
Yeah. He freaked out. He's like, oh, what is it? Which kind of understandable. If you didn't know music would come from that, like, you would be a little surprised. I'm surprised her phone or whatever it is has battery life still. I mean, unless it was off already, which it kind of seemed like it was.
Yeah.
But what an appropriate song for him.
Oh.
Right? I'm like, wow, these lyrics are almost a little too perfect for this moment that I'm like, he kind of was like, Dorothy, do you understand? This is how I feel.
Oh boy.
That's why they kissed each other, Frank. They had like the moments of love. I'm like,
Come on, were you?
it was actually shot really dark though, so I couldn't see them very well. I felt like the shadows, I would have wanted a little more lighting.
I'm not. This is
As they're
absolutely nothing for
slowly
me.
like getting closer.
Oh boy, great.
You're like, ugh.
They smooch, but then when they wake up the next morning, there's rustling in the woods, so they take off, and the captain of the guard stops Lucas and Sylvie, and Dorothy runs away and then gets hit in the back of the head with the boomerang by one of our tribal people from the pilot episode.
I hope they do better stuff for them because I was a little unimpressed, underwhelmed by them. So it was kind of like, So that was weird. So, but it's weird that they're back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
So that's the end of this episode. Real quick little prediction before we get out of here.
I still think the guard is the lion. I don't know how the Tin Man is going to get involved with the group. I almost wondered if Ozma would join them. A couple people in the chat were saying that maybe the Beast Forever is actually the combination of all our heroes together.
It sounds like they're talking about brain and heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that theory too. That's a really good. I hadn't really thought of it that way. And then I don't think the guard. I mean, he's been looking for Rowan and Lucas for a while, but I don't think it's I'm trying to kill him.
Yeah, I feel like they're
they have a complicated past.
They're there to. I like the idea that all four of them are part of it, and they're cleansing Oz of science and reestablishing magic.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction as well.
That's it. Okay.
Look at that. Yeah. So, folks,
okay.
we've got to wrap up this episode of the Emerald City After Show. Went by so fast. Look at that. But thanks, everybody, for liking us on watching, for liking us on Facebook, giving us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribing to the YouTube channel. Kari loves having the chat up and running, so you've made her so happy by by being right there. But, Kari, even if they're done watching the show and they want to be able to comment on what we talked about today, where's the best place for them to do that?
Well, comment down below, first of all. Well, that too. And you can find me online at Kari D. Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. And if you guys are in the mood for talking about box office breakdown, you can join Kari and myself 10 o'clock tonight Pacific talking movies. They're on Popcorn Talk for box office breakdown.
Yay, because we all love movies.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't love the movies?
That's right.
And TV.
So, folks, we'll see you back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock, for another episode of the Emerald City After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.